internet, so today I am doing the this or that tag. It's writing week, so I don't care about my appearance, hence the NaNoWriMo shirt. Anyway, let's get into this or that tag. Yay! New position too, kind of. Also, all the information for the tags down below because I always put it down there, I just never say I'm going to, but yeah. First we have physical book versus ebook. When it comes to physical book versus ebook, I prefer the physical book. I like having the ebook to sit there and read on occasion, or if I'm mainly listening to the audiobook and I just need to read it, but otherwise physical books are my babies. I love them, but as shown just there, usually I quite regularly have the physical and the ebook, or the audiobook and the ebook. Audiobook versus physical in your hand book, or just in your hand book. I like listening to it and I love the audio versions, but I prefer physical books. There's something about reading a physical book that I love, even though like it can get cracked spines or something, but get dirty and it's heavy, but bookshelf. Paperback versus hardback. I will always and forever prefer hardback books, but I have a soft place in my heart from the paperbacks. I guess the main difference is paperbacks I feel get ruined easier, they're so flimsy, and cracked spines are a thing. This one doesn't have it, but it's been through wars. Whereas hardbacks are generally prettier, and you want to read it, you just take the dust jacket off, you sit there, you read it, you can put the dust jacket back on when you're finished, and look, you still have a pretty book. Like, yeah, sure, coffee spilled on the front cover because I don't know what you were doing, but why? It comes with paperback versus hardcover. I prefer my hardcovers, but I do like reading paperback. I haven't read this story yet. I need to read Sense and Sensible. It's the only one that I haven't tried to read, and really I have 2 copies of it physically, and then I have ebook copies. So adult versus young adult. I read more young adult than I do adult, but I like my adults, but like young adult has such a soft place in my heart, and I think you can do more and be sillier with a young adult book and have just bizarre plot lines, whereas I feel with the adult it's more serious, or it feels more serious because people are dealing with bigger issues. Young adult, often they're college age, high school age, and their issues aren't that big. Adult, they're 20, like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and their stories and what they're experiencing has more weight than what the young adults do. I'm not saying that either one's more important than the other, because you have young adult books that cover great issues and things, but I don't know. When I think about the difference between young adult and adult, I really think that adult's more serious, whereas I have more fun with young adult. But I love both genres. They're not genres. Classifications, age brackets, people. I don't think I have an author that does both young adult and adult. Standalone versus series. I don't want to pick. I just finished reading Darkest Part of the Forest, which is like awesome, and I've read a heap of great standalones recently. Not a heap, I've read a few great standalones recently, which I love, but most of my favourite stories and characters come from series. I mean, this one's getting a new book. Technically it's out in the US. It's meant to be out in Australia, but everywhere that I know that's going to be selling it's from like the 1st or the 4th, so but don't make me pick between my children. I'm not picking. If I had to go anywhere, I'd go series, because you can do more with a series than you can do with standalone, but it hurts. Can we change this up? Like split it in half and then it can be a series. It's a duology. Stone Saga's a duology. Series. Bookmark or dog earring? Bookmark. Always bookmark. Get a classy motherfucking bookmark and put it in your book. You don't have a bookmark? It's fine. We can use anything for bookmarks. Like right now, this book has a bookmark, and then it has a laminated plastic thingy that I apparently stole from work. I've used toothpicks. The twist ties, you flatten that out, that's a great bookmark. Hair ties, bobby pins, my phone. It is sacrificed for bookmarking purposes. Breaking that fucking spine or barely opening the book. I don't care. I will try to not break my spines, which I have in the past, but I don't care anymore. I do prefer them if I buy them to not get broken, but I try to more stretch it, and usually I open it like this. I just try not to break that pretty spine. Borrow the book or buy the book. I brought both these, but borrow the book or buy the book. I buy the book. I don't like borrowing books because I can't keep them. Look at my Lunar Chronicles. I had to buy those bitches after I read them because I love them so much. Fiction versus non-fiction. I will go fiction every time. I love fiction, I love fantasy. I do like non-fiction books, but they're not in my top 100. Well, they are in my top 100. They're not in my top 5. Well, no, they're not. Bookstore or online. I like both. I like bookstores because I get to pick up the book and buy it then and there and see it and physically touch it and rub it against my face. But I like buying online because I can't get a lot of editions in Australia. Hardback's really fucking hard to come by in Australia for a lot of books. They just don't have a market for them. And I love my hardbacks. I also like to pick between the US, UK and Oz editions of books. But like, I feel like economically it's better to buy them in bookstores, but I don't get out that much, so I'd rather have them delivered. Fantasy versus real world. I love fantasy. I enjoy real world, but fantasy. Fantasy real world? Fantasy realness? Kindle, iPad or other. I had a Kindle, I did enjoy it when I had it until I broke it. But usually I'll reach for my phone. I have a Samsung tab that I occasionally use. I used to use the iPad, don't use that anymore, or just a Mac, like Amazon Cloud Reader on your computer. I don't have a favourite. Monster read or short and sweet? I will go the monster because I have so many books that are so long, but I do enjoy my short and sweet ones. But fantasy is usually pretty long. Starry-eyed romance or full of action? Full of action every time. Romance annoys me, and so does contemporary, but action and fantasy. Curl up in a Snuggie or lie out in the sun? Snuggie, curl up, lie out. What's the sun? I'm too pale to know what the sun looks like. Read the review or decide for yourself. Usually I'll decide, but occasionally if I'm unsure I'll check the reviews, but reviews aren't usually a deciding factor for me too often unless I'm unsure about the premise. Zombies or unicorns? Why zombie unicorns? That's the only correct answer. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a lovely week. Now I get to put all these books back on my shelves. Bye. I like sat down here and I was like, I have nowhere to put my fucking cup in reaching, but this is why I have coasters in my room that are Spider-Man.